Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Hope you're doing well. Um, my name's Marty, and I'm back with basically a little collection update, a little stopgap in between other things I've got brewing for this channel. I was getting quite a stupid stack of CDs building up around me, so I figured it was time to show them off so I could file them away to be lost forever in the void. But yeah, probably shouldn't have been buying CDs, but I've been kind of going nuts lately. What are you gonna do? The more you tell yourself no, the more you want it, right? But in the background is Det Svart Juve by Mork. I gotta say, I've stumbled upon this band somehow, somewhere, and they have single-handedly rekindled my enthusiasm for black metal. I think I watched a live stream, really liked what they were doing, listened to a couple tracks, really liked what they were doing, so I went through and picked up their 4 albums, which is this. I just got this the other day. Is Becca? Is it Becca? Also, Dandrid Skuga and Ermittens Doll, which is really, really, really good. One of these has a Burzum cover, an odd Burzum cover, like the song off of Umskatar, which is kind of obscure choice, but I don't know. Norwegian black metal has always been one of my favorites, other than first wave black metal, which obviously I came up with because I'm old. But the Norwegian style really resonated with me, and over the years, let's face it, it's kind of tanked. You know, the bands either went crazy and electronic or kind of mundane and tech death. But there's still bands like Tulka and Mork and some others that they're still maintaining the style, which is great. And these guys are awesome. And I'm missing some CD other stuff. I think some of these have 7 inches and crap added to them. I don't know for sure, but yeah, there's some bonus tracks on this one. But this is a great band, and if you're into Norwegian black metal and you have not yet checked out Mork, definitely do yourself a favor and check them out, because they are they're carrying the flag and moving onward. So that's going on in the background. Those are all new acquisitions, and let's just roll from there. This I've had for a long time. My buddy S. Craig Zoller sent me this in a big pile of stuff, and I finally just got around to listening to it with all of the talk of Schenker. And you know what? This rules. This is UFO Force It. I don't know what's Force It about. I don't know. The guy looks like he's in a pretty good situation right there. This is great. 70s, I want to say. Well, this is reissued in 2007. This is an earlier UFO release when Schenker was still in the band. Just really well done. Hard rock, proto metal. I don't know what you want to call it, but Let It Roll, Shoot Shoot, Love Lost Love. I've listened to this about 3 or 4 times and have really thoroughly enjoyed it. Really well done, really well written. The guitar solos are fantastic. This is my one and only UFO album. Drop a comment. Which one should I get next? I know, Jeff, if you're watching, you could probably set me down the right path on this. I'm probably not going to want to stray past the Schenker years, but I don't know, folks. Enlighten me. Next up, this is one I've had on dub since it came out during the tape trading days. I got back in the day, you wanted something from Osmos or overseas, you had to pay $25 for it or $30 for it to get the import. It was all by mail order. The internet was not quite hitting yet, but so yeah, I was going through my Impaled Nazarene shit the other day and realized that I did not have this on CD, so I snagged a copy. Suomi, Finland, Perkele. This is their 3rd album. This is a great album. It's got Tonelli Jarva in it. Is that his name? Tonelli? I don't know, Jarva is his last name. He is the singer bass player for Sentence during the Good era, and his presence can be felt on here. There's kind of a rockin' slant to this black metal, but the Finns are an odd breed, and I love the uniqueness that these guys display during a time where black metal was pigeonholed to sound a certain way, and Pale Nazarene were following their own way and doing their own stuff and coming up with very unique, primitive but catchy black metal from the Thousand Lakes. Love it. Good shit. Next up, this is Sect of Vile Divinities by Incantation. I'm not entirely sure if I have shown this yet. I might have. May have already talked about it, but it's worth repeating again. I've seen a lot of people saying that this is boring, which I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I'm an Incantation fan. I have been since the beginning, and I think this is a great album. I think in a lot of ways they're trying some new things while maintaining their own, remaining within their own wheelhouse. But they're trying some different things. I noticed several passages on here that were a bit of a progression, but yet still sound like Incantation. And the album sounds fantastic as it was mixed by Dan Swano from Edge of Sanity fame and a million other bands and Unisound recording fame. Drums are a little clicky, a little electronic sounding to me, but it's not bad. The guitars, everything is mixed so well. It sounds so good. This is a great Incantation record, and if you're a fan, I would think that you would think the same as me. Hearing people say it's boring, I mean, Incantation has always had an element of doom to them. So, I mean, that influence is no surprise on this album. I don't know, man. Listen to it again. That's all I gotta say. If you just keep working at it, these songs kind of cut through, and you can hear some progression in there. Give it another chance. Incantation, Sect of Vile Divinities, good stuff. This, I was going through eBay randomly, like I typically do every night, and I got this for like $5. And I always like this one. I'm not a huge fan of this band, to be honest. There's a couple releases here and here there I like. Force of Equilibrium, I will buy again because I bought that when it came out on tape. Hated it, broke the tape, took it back to Camelot Music and asked for a refund. But Cathedral Soul Sacrifice. This it came out after Force of Equilibrium. I think this is in between the first early album and before they got really groovy and 70s goofy. I don't know. But this is good. There are 4 songs: Soul Sacrifice, Autumn Twilight, Frozen Rapture, and Golden Blood Flooding. Not a huge Cathedral fan, but I couldn't really say no to an OG press. Well, this is on Columbia. And I've always had I've always had MP3s of this, and I do enjoy this, so I picked it up. This probably is a bootleg. I hope not. I mean, it looks pretty damn good, so it might actually not be a bootleg. But I got this for pretty cheap as well. Always been curious about this band. I believe they are Dutch. Not entirely sure. But Invocator, Weave the Apocalypse. This is on Black Mark. Sweet Alice in Chains shirt, brah. Lame picture, guys. Come on. But this album... Not a huge fan of the vocals. There's a very, very much... I anticipated this to be very much death metal minded, but it ended up being far more thrash oriented. The vocals are the key here. He's got more of a shouting style, which I'm not completely sold on yet. But the music itself is really pretty good. And the thing that really makes Weave the Apocalypse special is the drummer. The drummer on this album is really fucking good, really tight. I really enjoy the drum sound. It's really a punchy, organic kit. Say hi, Butterfly. It's a punchy kit, and the guy just rages. He's really super tight. He's a great thrash drummer. Throws in a lot of flair, and for that reason, I'm keeping the CD because it's the drum performance alone has kept me intrigued with this album. The vocals, not so much. I'm not there yet, but the music's good. Check them out. Invocator. I know there's a couple others of theirs I'm missing, but we shall see. Next up, a lot of talk about this band. I guess to me, people are trying to get me into this band, and it's worked. Zoller has been one of them, but this is Riot Thundersteel. This is on Johnny R. I know. At first glance, you look at this, they look like a hair metal band, but you know what? This is very much a thrashy. I want to say it's a power metal, traditional metal hybrid, but thrash at this point is very much at the forefront of this album. It's really punchy, like Thundersteel, Fight or Fall, Sign of the Crimson Storm. Very aggressive, a lot of technical guitar work on this, amazing solos, great songwriting. Riot Thundersteel, definitely check this band out. Here is a band. I always told myself, once I started getting back into Judas Priest, that I was going to get all their shit on vinyl, which I've kind of failed at, and I've been waiting and waiting to get this record at a record show for cheap, and I have not done so yet. Went into FYE the other day, which they had maybe 100 metal CDs left. They're pretty much dead in there. But they had a Painkiller for $7, and it was marked used, but it was still sealed. This is a reissue of some sort. It's got bonus tracks on it. But so I mean, yeah. Other than Painkiller, which is a song everybody's heard, I have never heard this whole album, and what a fucking treat! What a fucking treat! This is Judas Priest trying to emerge from the Turbo and Ram It Down era with more aggression, trying to earn back maybe some old fans, and maybe trying to strike out and get some new fans that were more fascinated with thrash and death metal. I'm not saying this is a death metal album, but this is a very aggressive Judas Priest album, very technical. This could very well be considered a power metal record in a lot of ways, but never loses sight of Judas Priest core elements. Great album. You've all heard this album, I'm sure. I hadn't until I bought this a month or so ago, and yeah, I would have liked to get a used vinyl on this on cheap, but you know what? It didn't work out that way, and I'm psyched to have the CD because it was long overdue. And also, the same day, I picked this up too. They had this at FYE used for $7, and Mortician is one of those goofy bands for me because when these guys were coming out with their albums, I had probably I had a bunch of them. In fact, I sold a big lot of these. I got a lot of the stuff as promos back in the day when I was writing for Worm Gear and Metal Maniacs, and it was on the Relapse PR list. What do you think of Mortician? Is it good? Do you like it? Do you like it? Good stuff. Not brutal enough? Okay, go. These guys always struck me as a joke band. And the drum machine, even though times evolved with drum machines, I mean, I was in a band starting out, had to use a drum machine as well, but we worked really hard to make that drum machine sound like a real drummer. We even invested in sampling keyboards to drop the MIDI into that and replace it with real drum sounds. These guys didn't. They had a crappy drum machine, and that was their sound. They decided that they were going to ride or die with that drum machine. So yeah, I always took these guys as not real serious and fun and just not really in my wheelhouse. Not anything I wanted to keep. So I sold like a whole lot of Mortician CDs in a bundle for like $12 on eBay in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Kind of regret it now. I mean, everybody's ranting and raving how great Mortician is, so this popped up, so I grabbed it. And you know what? Time has maybe changed me a little bit. I enjoy this a lot more for the fun aspect. The Will Romer's vocals are sick as fuck. There's no denying that. The riffs are brutal as hell. I love the guitar and bass tone. It's just a fuzzed out grind offensive. The drum machine's annoying. And a lot of the samples, the horror movie samples, get, a lot of women screaming, which Not anything you really want to drive around with your kid in the car listening to. But this is fun for an occasional romp. But this is a reissue of Hacked Up for Barbecue and Zombie Apocalypse. Relapse put this out, and I don't know what the date they did this, but it's fun. I'm glad I bought it. It was worth $7, and you know, if more old Mortician stuff pops up, I will revisit it. The thing that always weirded me out is, you know, they went in full on the drum machine thing, but live, Roger would play drums. I mean, the few times I saw Mortician play, it was Roger on drums, Will, and another guy on guitar. Or was it the other way around? It seems like Roger was playing drums a few times I saw them. I could be wrong. Maybe the second time Roger was playing guitar and they had another drummer. But, you know, live they wouldn't embrace the drum machine. They'd always have a drummer. So they had the tools to put drums on this shit, but they always opted for that sterile mechanical drum machine. I don't know. It made them what they are. You know, hats off. They're definitely innovators and been around forever. But next up, Ken Escobedo was quite kind and sent me the new Unnatural release, which is a compilation of sorts. It contains the Afflictions demo, the Path to Ruin EP and Cursed EP, and Coalescing Putrefaction EP. So this is like a collection of getting all of their shit in one place, which is very cool. Not too long ago, Ken actually made me a CDR with this material, so you know, none of this was really new to me, but it was still cool to get a fancy finished copy of it. Thank you so much, Ken. And Unnatural, it features Ken on vocals and a guy that was in the band Morgue, who were an excellent, excellent death metal band, doing old school, super simplistic, no frills, but catchy, super catchy and authentic death metal. The way it's supposed to sound. It sounds like this came out of the early 90s, and hats off for that. Great stuff. I think they're working on some new shit, but it's really cool to get this collection all in one place. Thank you so much for sending that, Ken. Next up, what do we got? Oh. Here is a prime example of when your collection starts to get too big, you kind of fall out of touch with it. Alan, not too long ago, Alan Colson from Let's Talk Metal. Check out his channel. He made me a CDR of all this Armored Angels stuff, demos and EPs, which I listened to and thought, man, this is really good. I'm going to get some of this stuff. So I went over to Hell's Headbangers, and they had a couple CDs. So I picked up the Stigmartyr and Angel of the Sixth Order. This contains... I think this catches me up. One's a full length and the other one's an EP, and with some demo action on it. So yeah, I bought both of these, and as they were in transit, I was filing away some records or some CDs, and look what I found on my rack: Armored Angel, Angel of the Sixth Order, which is this thing with a different cover. And as a matter of fact, I think the other cover is, yeah, the inside there. So this one was put out on a different label, obviously, and my eyes are too shitty to read that to you, but I think the track listing is different between the two of them too. A couple different tracks here and there. So that means I'm keeping both of these, but still, I kind of just saw it and shook my head, you know. Try to, you know, everybody tells me, Marty, you need to document your CDs on Discogs, which is probably true, but I really don't want to go through and document all those things. But influential Australian, you know, they kind of start off really thrashy, and they progressed into more of a bolt thrower, mid-pace, really super catchy riffs type of band. Armored Angel, it's kind of a drag they're not around to maybe enjoy some of the success that their material has steamrolled into over the years, but they're a great band. They were a great band. Definitely check these guys out. Australian classics. Next up, Blind Guardian. I am slowly trying to complete the collection, and Devin set me straight. He hooked me up a long time ago with some of the early Blind Guardian stuff, which I had somehow missed, and it blew me away. And I've been listening to the shit out of Blind Guardian. So this is an album. This is Blind Guardian Live Bard's Tavern. I got this as a promo back in the day, a full 2 CD promo, and I liked it back then. I think I probably gave it a good review, but I didn't want to keep it, so I sold it on eBay, and now here I am buying it again on eBay. 2 CD set. I don't know exactly which era this is. I'm pretty sure it's during the Nightfall of Middle Earth era. Don't quote me on that, and I'm not gonna double check it, but comes with a really thick booklet, 2 CD set. Great sound quality. This is great driving around town music. I also picked up, I'm kind of pushing past the Night at the Opera. I had not had anything past that, so I'm starting to fill in the collection, and this is A Twist in the Myth. I have not listened to this whole album. I've gotten about halfway through, got distracted. I'm going to return to this, but what I heard the first half, it's so-so. It's not as good as their early stuff. It's not as good as their middle era stuff. It just kind of seemed like the songs were not that polished. They weren't that inventive or exciting. They were just kind of color by number, Blind Guardian, but not certainly not a peak performance, certainly not their best songwriting attempts. Again, I'm not quite finished with this yet. I'll probably listen to it a few times before I make a final decision, but right now, so. I have listened to some tracks from albums that came out after this, and I like them maybe a bit better. Perhaps this is a bit of a transitional album. I don't know, but we will see. That's Twist in the Myth, Blind Guardian. Next up, I am still on my Devin Townsend kick. I think the guy's great. I enjoy his how he walks the line between just blistering intensity and softer, calmer, more pretty, for lack of a better term, progressions and musical styles. And I realized that my Strapping Young Lad collection is lame. All I have is City on a promo, and I love that album. So I picked these two up. The New Black, which is here. I think this is the last one, and this is Alien. Both of these ended up being Argentinian pressings through Icarus Records. They're legit. They're legit pressings. They're just through Icarus, and they're all over eBay. As far as I know, they're not bootlegs. I've dealt with Icarus in the past. It's a legit label. I've traded with them and stuff for Bindrune, but I haven't listened to the New Black yet, but I have been spinning the shit out of Alien in the car. It's crushing. Strapping Young Lad. Well done. Really well written. Gene Hoglan on drums. He's just a fucking masterpiece. He's a fucking genius when it comes to what he does. This one I'm looking forward to. I'm sure it's going to be great. I also picked up the Devin Townsend Band Accelerated Evolution. It's a 2 CD set. I got it pretty cheap. The booklet it's a digipack. It's in decent shape. It's really thick, but it's, not in new quality, we will say. I mainly picked this up because it's got the song Deadhead on it. I love that song. And honestly, the recording on here is fine. It's just that he does it a lot better live. His vocals are much more searing live. But this is yet another great Devin Townsend record. I think Strapping Young Lad was still going when he made this album. So I mean, there's a lot of intensity on this, but there's a good dynamic on this. There's a lot of ups and downs, peaks and valleys, intensity to more of a mellow push. I dig it. Call it modern day prog, dad rock, whatever you want to call it. I dig Devin Townsend. It's good shit. Is that it for CDs? It is. Next, I've got vinyl. I've shown these on the stream, on some streams, so there's nothing going to be real exciting here, but I just want to talk about them real quick. First up, we've got the Demo Collection, 1986 through 1987 by Germany's Paradox. As far as I know, this is the German Paradox. I didn't realize that there were 2 Paradoxes, but I believe this is the German Paradox. It's the same logo. This is on Floga Records. It's a 2 LP set. Pretty cool. It's got a gatefold, nice big collage, a little bit of a write-up. I believe the vinyl is colored. It is. Matches the Paradox. You know what? I've only got the first 2 albums, and they are great, especially their second album, Heresy. Heresy is a sadly overlooked thrash metal classic. It is so well written, and you can kind of see where they were going from these demos. There's Demo 1, 1986 demo. Demo 2, Mystery, is on side 2 on the second album. There's bonus tracks on here, all sorts of bonus tracks. Very good. If you have not heard this German powerhouse, definitely check out Heresy. And their first album, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, are both really well done, really good. I know the band has continued since then and put out a bunch of albums, which I need to check. But I've found that a lot of bands that come back like this, they end up adopting more of a modern style. And bands like Defiance, for instance, they come back and they end up sounding like Pantera, and fuck that. I don't know if Paradox are in that realm, but excellent German thrash. Check them out. Next up, I rated Hell's Headbangers and picked up these 2 albums to complete my collection of the Norwegian duo Deathhammer. These guys are a modern day blackened thrash metal band with a heavy-handed nod of appreciation to Destruction. It's like Niflheim meets Destruction, I would say. But these guys are fucking great. I really, really enjoy Deathhammer. I never thought I would because of the color penciled in shitty artwork covers, but seems like I picked one up cheap from Hell's Headbangers a long time ago and finally got around to listening to it, and it was great. This is Oxblood colored vinyl. Hell's Headbangers just reissued these 2 albums. They come with it comes with a poster too, which I'm not gonna put up the poster. I mean, this out of all their records is probably their best cover, which isn't saying a lot. This next one is really bad. Re-sleeve that cocksucker later. Next up is Forever Ripping Fast. This is their first album. And look at that cover. Just take it in. Man, when it came down to quality control, I mean, all of their albums are in this style. I would think someone would have said, you know what? Maybe we should try a little harder with the covers. But they didn't. This is their first album, and this also contains the Barbaric Onslaught and Savage Poser Hunt demos? I'm assuming they're demos. No, those are the songs. Sorry, I'm pretty sure there's a demo on here. I'm not entirely sure. I've only listened to it once. Again, this is 2 LP set. There's a 2 LP set? Yes. Screen printed back. Like a swampy green type color. Again, Destruction influenced thrashing black metal. Excellent stuff. Really well done. Next up, I've always had this album on CD, the split CD. It was like a 2-in-1 CD that Century Media did back in the day. So I never had an actual standalone copy of this, and it turned up on Hell's Headbangers, so I jumped on it. This is Shadows of Past by Finland's Sentenced. This is great old school Finnish death metal, done well by teenagers, straight up. And this comes on a nice merge colored vinyl. Basically what you're getting with Sentenced is their first 4 albums sound nothing alike. It sounds like 4 different bands, to be completely honest. And to be honest, that's okay. It's kind of set them apart. But this is their death metal, youthful vigor is all over this thing. Old school, detuned Finnish death metal. What came out after this, North From Here, they ended up being much more thrashy and a little bit black inspired. But yeah, Tonelli Jarva, who went on to be an Impaled Nazarene, and the Black League. I really love this album. Still, my favorite Sentence is Amok. I know, I'm weird, but that's a great album. And the last up for this is another thing I got from Hell's Headbangers. Band I really enjoy, Sacramentum, Finis Malorum. This is their first, I believe. It's an EP. And this thing comes on a great. Very cool. Crystal clear vinyl with black smoke. Very nice looking. Sacramentum, if you have not heard them, they could easily fit within the realm of Dissection. Highly melodic Swedish death metal. I always considered these guys melodic Swedish death metal with black metal influences. That album right there, Far Away from the Sun, rivals, man. It's right up there, really close with Storm of the Lightsbane. Maybe a bit better. That's another debate for the comment section. But this is really well done. Comes with a silver emboss. They also sent a second cover that does not have the logo on it. I'm assuming that this was a first pressing of the record that the plant forgot to put the emboss on. Someone fucked up. They sent 2 covers and they just included the cover with it. I don't really know why I would keep this, but I'm keeping it just because that's what it came with. Also has a lyric sheet, but really well done. Highly melodic Swedish melodic death / black metal. This was kind of the start for this band. They went on to put out a handful of really good albums, with Far Away from the Sun being their best, hands down their best work. But check out Sacramentum. This could still be available through Hell's Headbangers. I'm not entirely sure, but that's it. A little conservative pile for collection update for you guys, and I'm gonna probably have more coming soon. I've got a whole bunch of shit coming in I've been waiting on. Like I said, I've lost my fucking mind here. Hopefully in the next couple days I will be putting up a Necrophobic review for Worm Gear Reviews, and yeah, got some other stuff planned. We're gonna keep plugging along at this and having a good time with it. And thank you everybody that's been subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. If you have yet to do so, there's like 30% of you that watch but don't subscribe. Not that I'm looking to be making money or anything, because that's probably never going to happen, but once you subscribe, click like, that'd be awesome. Or click on like, doesn't matter. But it's good hearing from all you folks in the comments. I'm glad you enjoyed the Russian bootlegs video, and again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you again next time. Y'all take care of yourself and wear a fucking mask.